It's a pleasure to call Lia Nici to make her maiden speech.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. It is with great pride that I'm standing in this place and speaking about the town of my birth and now the town of my constituency, Great Grimsby. I'm equally proud that I am the first woman from my party to represent this seat. Indeed, I'm the first Conservative MP to serve the constituency since Sir William Walmesley in 1945. I would like to acknowledge the work of my immediate predecessor, Melanie On. Melanie served as MP for 4 years. Even in that short time, she progressed to shadow frontbench positions, firstly as Shadow Deputy Leader of the House and then as Shadow Housing Minister. Melanie was hard-working and diligent in her service of Great Grimsby. I must also mention, though, the Labour politician who served Grimsby for longer than anybody else did, and that is Austin Mitchell. Austin was a Member of Parliament for 38 years and is a politician whom I admire greatly. He once said that if you pinned a red rosette on a donkey, the people of Great Grimsby would vote for it. Well, Madam Deputy Speaker, I neither wore a red rosette nor am I a donkey. So what that proves is that Austin Mitchell wasn't always right. Austin was a constant campaigner against the common fisheries policy and the damage it inflicted on the fishermen of Grimsby. It is this part of his work that I will be particularly proud to continue now that we have left the EU. Yeah. I would also like to say a sincere thank you to my honourable friend, the member for Cleethorpes, who encouraged me to stand as a councillor and then as parliamentary candidate. And my honourable friend continues to be a valued advisor and a huge support. Madam Deputy Speaker, Great Grimsby has a long and proud trading history. The town was well known as a trading port in the 800s and was particularly renowned for the quality of its fish and its fishing fleet even then. By the 1100s, the town had become one of the most richest trading ports across the country. And in 1201, the burgesses of the town bought the town from King John, and it gained its first town charter in that same year. I'm very proud to be able to say that Great Grimsby was able to send 2 of its burgesses to start up the model parliament in 1295, and in recognition of that, the coat of arms and the name Great Grimsby is part of one of the stained glass windows in St Stephen's Hall. The enrolled freemen of Grimsby, who were created at the signing of the first town charter, ran the town until 1831 and are still an important part of the town's functions today. They are the beating heart of Freeman Street and continue to work with the council and MPs to ensure the town's positive future. It's important to recall how the Freemen encouraged economic success in the 1300s. They reduced and abolished taxes for local businesses. Yeah. For example, no quayage on loading or unloading ship. No stallage on erecting a stall in the market, and no anchorage on dropping anchor. Madam Deputy Speaker, I would like to encourage the Chancellor to emulate our forebears and bring a free port to Grimsby. For centuries, trawlermen from our town set off into the North Sea to catch the fish to feed the nation, including through 2 world wars. These trawlermen then had to suffer the cod wars with Iceland, together with crippling oil prices in the 1970s. As a nation, we then joined the Common Market and then the EU, which gave rise to the Common Fisheries Policy. EU trawlers had access to our waters, and our own fishermen became subject to smaller and smaller quotas. All of this resulted in the decimation of the fishing industry in towns like Grimsby. But now we have left the EU. My constituents will be watching the government and myself very closely over the coming year, and will make sure that we negotiate a deal which means that we're able to build a UK fishing industry fit for the 21st century. But Great Grimsby isn't merely a town that looks back to its history. Our key Lincolnshire location on the bank of the Humber Estuary and facing the North Sea means we are home to the largest centre for seafood processing and cold storage, and we have become the UK's largest centre for the maintenance and operations of our new offshore wind farms. Many of my constituents also work at the Port of Immingham and Grimsby, the UK's largest port by tonnage. We hopefully will also be at the forefront of leading the new technology that is emerging in the field of carbon capture and storage. I was particularly delighted to hear the Chancellor's announcement of an £800 billion infrastructure fund for carbon capture and storage clusters. And where better to place a cluster that will capture and store 16 million tonnes of CO2 than off the coast of Grimsby. And as my honourable friends on this side of the House will know, it's small businesses that are central to the life of our towns and of our country. If we are to encourage regeneration of our town centres, then our local businesses are key. So I welcome the announcement to help small businesses cope with the potential extra costs of coronavirus by refunding statutory sick pay. The retail, leisure and hospitality businesses in my constituency will also welcome the extension of the 100% business rate relief in 2021. I'm particularly pleased that the Chancellor has decided to freeze fuel duty for another year. My constituents, especially those who run logistics companies, will greatly appreciate this step. Madam Deputy Speaker, to be elected to represent my hometown is the greatest honour of my professional life. It is an honour which has come to me because of how the people felt treated by politicians in the past. And we know that they have lent us their vote. And I'm well aware that they voted for change, and I will work tirelessly to see that that change happens.
Dan Jarvis.